Sackhoff. How are you, and how was your travel over?
I'm great. I am tired, a little jet lagged. Travel over was eventful. The flights are never easy, that long, and I don't sleep on flights anyway. So one buck with turbulence, and I won't sleep the entire flight. So I'm a little jet lagged. And then Michael Trucco and his wife forced us to go out and drink last night. So I didn't sleep well last night either. So I'm hoping that I sleep like a bump on a log tonight.
Well, we're here at London Film and Comic-Con Winter. Is doing conventions something you enjoy?
I love interacting with fans, and I love to kind of see what the fan base is enjoying these days. It's constantly changing, and depending on what country you're in and what state you're in the U.S., people watch different things, and one con people will really be talking about 24 because it maybe just aired again, and then the next day or the next month it might be Battlestar again, so it's constantly changing. So it's kind of nice to be able to kind of gauge what fans are kind of interested in at the time to try and to then kind of cater to them in a certain sense, like the fan site on my website where the money goes to charity. If they're really talking about 24, then we need to make sure to have 24 photos on the website. So things like that. It's really nice to be able to talk to the fans.
Speaking of charity and other things you like, you've got a big ride coming up with Acting Outlaws. Can you tell us what?
We do. So on November 2nd, Trisha Helfer and I are hosting our first ever ride, and it's called the Path Home Ride, and it's to benefit a California-based homeless charity. That's our homeless organization, rather, that does some pretty phenomenal work in the California area, and we're really honored to be partnering with them. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And another thing you recently did with Acting Outlaws was a 2015 calendar shoot with Dennis Illick.
We did, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that? Is there a release date?
There's no release date yet for the calendar. I would say probably in the next couple of weeks that we will have picked proofs. So we're looking at the end of October, probably the middle of November, they'll be available. And we're actually going to pre-sell them this time, though, which we didn't do last time. So we're going to pre-sell, but they'll definitely be available and ready and shipped by Christmas. So.
And is it going to be on Redbubble again? Or?
No, we actually found a way to make them cheaper. So we can Redbubble takes so much of the profit that it was actually cutting into what we could give to the charity. So we found a way around that, a company that actually will print them for less money, so we can give more money to the charity and then also get them at a better reasonable price for fans.
Now during the panel with Michael earlier, there was talk about the last transport.
Yeah.
Can you tell about that?
Nothing really. It's a script that Michael sent me. I loved it. I immediately loved it. They're in the process of doing some tweaks on it. It needs a couple tweaks here and there. But my whole thing is that I liked the character, I liked the subject matter, and if timing works out, I absolutely would love to work with Michael again. So, hopefully it does work. It's an easy movie to shoot. Probably only take 2 weeks. So we will be able to fit it in. It's just a matter of when, and if those tweaks are made to mine and Michael's satisfaction with the script, and it's ready to shoot.
And then there's Tell.
Yeah, Tell.
What can you tell about it?
I know, right? It's like you can't even say it without having to explain what it is. I'm really excited about Tell. I was meant to do a different movie last year, and through changes in script and finances and disagreements, it didn't work out, and I ended up just kind of sitting at home, and I was like, what am I going to do? And Milo Ventimiglia, who's very, very, very close friend of mine, called and said, we'd really love for you to do this movie. And he sent it on over, and I thought it was so interesting. And it's a character I've never played before. I mean, she's crazy, like everything I do. But she is girly and sexy, wears, dresses and heels and struts around and uses her assets, if you will, to get what she wants. And it's something I'd never done, and I was really excited to do it. And I played Milo's ex-wife, and it's always interesting when you've been friends with someone for like 15, 20 years, and then you have it's one of the weirdest things ever. Because there's a moment where you're like, wow, this is my brother. And then you're like, wow, he's really a kisser. It's so weird. And then you're like, this is really odd. Like I'm having this weird like pull and tug of been friends with someone for 20 years. And then you start to see him in a different light and it cracks me up. And so I before I just thought he was, you know, Milo and Amelia. Now I see him the way all the other girls do, which is so odd. So
He was here last July too.
was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's till this. I mean, he'll be one of my closest friends for, you know, as far as I can see.
Now something completely different. Halloween's coming. Do you have anything planned for that?
Halloween?
Yeah.
I actually love Halloween, but it kind of got ruined for me growing up because it's my brother's birthday. So it was always kind of like it. You had to do like double whammy. It's like Halloween always meant my brother's birthday. It never meant Halloween to me. So I have no plans because our ride is that weekend. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of the prep for the ride, the final preparation, and then you know the day after the ride, I'm leaving for my hometown for like 10 days to hang out with my family. So
And costume plans?
no
costumes?
no costumes.
No M&Ms?
No M&Ms this year. I should tweet a picture of that throwback Thursday of me in my M&M costume. It's the best costume ever, I'm telling you. You can wear like a parka underneath it and stay warm. Very cool.
Now, a Battlestar question. What do you think is so special about Star that people keep gravitating towards that character so much?
I think that she allowed people the permission to be flawed. You know, she was such an anti-hero. She was the most flawed character on that show, and you rooted for her. And it was, I think, because most of her flaws and most of her difficulties came from a lack of confidence, and lack of confidence may not be the right word, but insecurity. You know, she came from an abusive home, and she surrounded herself with people, you know, like Leoben. Someone had asked me before, I did an interview and I said that I think that she would have been happiest with Leoben, and they didn't understand that at all. And I said, well, a child of abuse is comfortable in situations that remind them of how they were raised. It's you go back to what's comfortable. If you, you know, we're creatures of habit. So, you know, Leoben for Kara validated all the negativity she thought about herself, and she felt comfortable with him. And I think that's why I think she was truly herself around him. And it's probably one of the reasons why she married Anders instead of Lee Adama, because he knew her too well, you know, and she couldn't be herself around him because he wanted her to be the best that she could be, and she didn't want to be the best she could be. So, yeah, so I don't know. I think that's kind of why people liked her so much, is she did. She allowed you to be flawed and still be a hero, you know.
And how did you experience the last days on set?
I was incredibly sick toward the end because of my thyroid. So I was really tired, and we were working really long hours anyway. And I just figured that I was exhausted, and that's why I was so tired. So I didn't really experience it. I didn't absorb it because I was so tired. I don't think I allowed myself to feel any of the emotions that came from it. And then I wrapped about an hour earlier than everybody else, and I went home. I didn't stay for the last shot because I was so tired. It was like 7 a.m. And so I went home, and I always regret that I wasn't there. But at the same time, I don't think I could have been. I was so tired at that point in my life. So, but one of the coolest things is that one of our producers, who was like a father to everybody, passed away very, very shortly after the show wrapped. And they found a picture that Dennis took, actually, I think, of me hugging him at the very end. And so I have that memory of him, and that's how I remember my last day, is that picture of me with him. Yeah. Everybody out there on social media, thank you so much for all your support over the years, and for supporting my career and all the crazy, wacky shit that I do. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and you guys mean a lot to me. And
Trucco, and this is Ryan Robbins for Battlestar Galactica Museum.
This is Michael Trucco from Battlestar Galactica, and I'm speaking to you for the Battlestar Galactica Museum.